my dudes, welcome back to the bonus video on Patreon this month. Today we are going to be talking about all the leftover things that were way too much to include in that main channel video about weddings. Doing this with the Patreon video made writing that script so much easier because ordinarily Sheridan and I really struggle to cut things because it's almost like kill your baby kind of thing. You know that saying. You're like, oh, but that point, or I just want to mention that, or that fun fact. And so it's nice to be able to kind of throw all of those together and be able to still wrap it up and continue the discussion. So here we are. I have like an 8-page document for this. This is not usually how the bonus videos go. They're not usually quite this structured or scripted, but here we are. I'm going to be reading a lot off of it, so here we go. So first of all, weddings have been very interesting to me because I never was one to plan my wedding or dream of my wedding. I know some people do have their visions or their ideas of what they want their wedding to be like someday. Never had it. Never really crossed my mind. I always thought that I would get married, but again, it was something that I wasn't Pinterest boarding, okay? I'm unprepared. And I'm the first of my hometown friend group to have a wedding, so this is all pretty new to us as well. I've only ever attended 2 weddings in my life. So much of this is new to me, and that's why writing this video and also, again, the process of planning has been enlightening, to say the least. So first I want to start with wedding traditions and the patriarchy. I just wanted to learn a teensy bit about the history of some of these traditions. Where do they come from? Why do we do them? More importantly, why are they still around? First thing is, apparently it is tradition for the bride's family to pay for the wedding, the ceremony, and the reception. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do a little bit of a smash or pass throughout this, so I can just give my quick yes or no. Pass, obviously. It was funny because even when we got engaged and then I started talking about wedding planning with my parents, my dad was like, oh, so are we paying for it? And I was like, no. And then Nathan's parents as well were like, what does her family think about the traditions? Just because nobody wanted to step on each other's toes. They didn't want to assume anything, but it's when there's a tradition that some people follow, or maybe Gen Xers follow and older. I'm glad that they asked and didn't make the assumptions, but still I was like, no, of course my family's not paying for all this shit. No way. And actually initially Nathan and I wanted to pay for everything ourselves, but both of our parents have kindly offered to contribute. So that is honestly making the budget a lot more manageable for us. Otherwise, I think we would have gotten to the point where we're like, you know what, never mind, don't need this. But, I think we also have enough skin in the game ourselves to not feel like our families are paying for the entire wedding. Which, if your parents pay for your wedding, or if your family, if that's what you do, then that's great, that's fine. But again, I just never wanted to assume, or I never wanted to put that pressure on my parents to be like, hey, you're paying for my wedding, right? I've been pretty financially independent since I was 16, 18 especially. Anyway, my biggest takeaway for this was why would anyone still follow this? I think it goes back to the whole idea of and this is another one, your father giving away the daughter to the husband and he's gonna have ownership of her, and therefore the bride's family has to contribute financially to be part of that transaction. Oh, because now you're gonna be taking care of our daughter, we'll pay you some money or we'll give you some gifts to ease that financial burden. I feel my theme, my recurring catchphrase throughout wedding planning has just been I want to question all the traditions. There is nothing that I'm just going to buy into. Why do we do this? Why would anyone assume that we would do this? And I think that's an annoying thing as well already is I get a little frustrated that people would even assume that we're doing XYZ traditions because I'm why would we do that? Why? Just because people do it? That's not a good enough reason for me. Again, as I mentioned in the main channel video, I know it takes privilege to say that, and we're in a very lucky position. We're not religious. We don't really have any big structures or cultural things hanging over our heads, or too many expectations to meet aside from the standard white Western wedding, if that exists. And by the way, last point about your dad giving you away. This is something I haven't even talked about with my parents yet. I gotta consult, but I don't want my dad giving me away, walking me down the aisle alone, What I'm envisioning is more of walking with both of my parents so that it's not a giving me away kind of thing. It's more of my parents are important to me and I want them to have this role or this moment in the ceremony. I've had a lot of conflict, like, thinking about these traditions and deciding which ones to opt into because I do try to be progressive in a lot of ways. I don't want to just make the traditional patriarchal decision automatically, but at the same time, we are a heterosexual couple, and so naturally, we kind of fall into a lot of these roles or these traditions. So I felt kind of uncomfortable throughout wedding planning because it is just so painfully heteronormative. And yeah, it's been interesting trying to navigate that and like give myself the grace to be like, hey, you're not like a bad feminist or a bad leftist for opting into some of these things. Like sometimes I even feel, well, you know, I get some comments of people who are like, I hate weddings, I hate marriage, nobody should get married. And I'm like, cool, but we are, so thank you. But again, that's why I always go back to like questioning these things first and foremost and then deciding what we want to do based on what feels right to us, and not just to do what's traditionally done. Anyway, let's get into some fun traditions. The bouquet throw. Why is it a thing? Why does the bride throw the bouquet behind her to the crowd of ladies who apparently, if you catch it, then like you're gonna get married next? That's the story, allegedly. According to this article, the tradition can be traced back to old school England, when guests used to believe that grabbing a piece of the bride would bring them luck. They would physically try to rip off pieces of the bride's dress or try to grab at the flowers. As a result, brides used to throw the bouquet to try to distract them. That's horrifying. I have not double-checked any of these sources, by the way. Sheridan and I just kind of found some articles to reference, so take all these with a grain of salt. Some of these may be, you know, either old wives' tales or mythical in some way. But that one's kind of horrifying. Why do you have to be grabbing at the bride? Step off. And then the garter toss. I don't even actually know what the fuck this is fully. I just know the little garter is the sexy little thing you wear on your leg under your dress. And then at some point, like, the groom, like, gets down and, like, takes off the garter with his teeth. Why? Ew. In front of all your friends and family? Why does this have to happen? But what is the historical context of the garter toss? Apparently, back in olden times, newly married couples were expected to consummate their union pretty much immediately after the wedding. And family members and friends would wait outside of their room to make sure this happened. Can you imagine? You're going to have sex for the first time, probably. Your friends and family are outside. After the marriage is consummated, the groom would give the bride's garter to the waiting crowd to prove that the deed was done. So gross. Obviously, like, that's not the context that I think most modern weddings would use the garter toss for, but still, why? I don't think a lot of people do this anymore. Good riddance. And then we have the veil. What's up with the veil? I don't think I want a veil. Pass. Just like aesthetically, I don't think I need it. But historically, let's look at it. Superstition has it that it is bad luck for the groom to see the bride prior to the wedding. A veil hiding her face also ensured that the groom would not see his soon-to-be betrothed up until the ceremony. Okay. Eventually, the meaning behind the veil transformed as weddings evolved into religious ceremonies. The veil came to symbolize modesty and obedience. No, thank you. In many religions, it is seen as a symbol of reverence for women to cover their heads. Okay, I respect that. When white wedding dresses were worn to symbolize chastity, the white veil followed suit. So yeah, again, pass. Again, aesthetically, I don't think I need it. Don't really desire to wear anything. Definitely not going to cover my face. I just don't need that. No, thank you. I'm fine. I'll wear like a little beret. Doesn't serve the same purpose, but whatever. And then we found a fun tradition about why bridesmaids match. I never even asked that. I just thought, sure, get your girlies together and make them all wear the same thing because you can control them. This Vogue article says, the murky origin story is that a bride would have a tendency to protect her from evil spirits by having several women who dressed alike. The spirits or kidnappers wouldn't know which person was the bride. back in the day, yeah, it wasn't just the bridesmaids wearing the same thing as each other, but they would look similar to the bride. All of these traditions are about, like, attacking the bride. Why is that the theme? Oh, again, weddings, patriarchy, treating women as objects. Fun. So speaking of, let's discuss the wedding party, because there's more I wanted to say about this. First of all, the trend of proposing to your bridesmaids, like I've seen the Pinteresty things, I've seen the cute little, like, will you be my bridesmaid? It's like a promposal, and it is sweet. I'm sure it's cute to, like, present this to your loved ones and be like, hello, will you be a big part of my day? Cute. All the little gifts and, like, how elaborate, like, some people bring whole ass gift baskets. To me, that's a lot. I wouldn't do it, but I'd say I'm a little bit more on the minimalist side. My next question: how do some of these ladies have 12 or more close girlfriends? You're standing up there with so many people. That's too many. You cannot have 12 close girlfriends. You cannot. It's not possible. Clearly, I'm more of an introvert and I've got my small circle, but, like, how do you have that many friends? Close friends? Who's even sitting in the audience? I would run out of friends at that point. They'd all be standing up there with me. And I've heard some people say, some brides say that they don't have that many close friends or close girlfriends, and they really worry about this, like the optics of, oh, if I don't have enough bridesmaids, or if I don't have bridesmaids at all, you know, worrying about the social appearance of that, I guess. And then it's kind of awkward because I imagine you don't want to pick someone you're not that close with, because then they might be like, why'd you pick me to be your bridesmaid? Like, do you think we're besties? Like, what is this? But you also have to walk that line of, like, who in your life expects to be a bridesmaid, and if you don't pick them, might they be offended or hurt? Who knows? Typically, the advice recommends including your family first thing, so sisters, female cousins get to be bridesmaids, and then if you have sisters-in-law, your partner's sisters, and then your besties, your college bestie, your hometown bestie, your work bestie. Again, that's enough. How does that add up to 12 or more? I also think you have to think about the ratio of, like our wedding, maybe we'll have around 60 guests. I don't know. Imagine if 10 of those were my bridesmaids, and then maybe 10 more were Nathan's groomsmen. Like, half the wedding already is standing up the front, and then there's, like, almost nobody in the audience. So just practically, I'm like, hey, everyone, sit down. Hey, everyone, take a seat. You're fine. We want our ceremony to be pretty simple and rather quick. We don't want, we don't have too much planned. We're going to do the simple things. Say I do. Let's move on. So personally, I just don't feel the need in having our wedding party stand up there with us. We've still got to decide for sure, because Nathan's brother is his man of honor. Man of honor? Best man. I keep saying that. And yes, I do want all of our siblings to have some kind of a role in our wedding because they are special to us. But exactly what that means, and if that involves, like, standing up at the altar with us, and to be determined. I don't think it's necessary, but we'll see. And now we can finally get into all of those extra events. As I mentioned in the main video, there are so many more parties than just the wedding. And I was just so naive. I had no clue, really, genuinely. If I had been quizzed beforehand, I would have been like, no, it's just the wedding, right? Like, you get engaged and then you have the wedding. Cool. Here's my thoughts on, again, these extra parties, celebrations. They often require paying for food, some kind of catering sometimes. Some families will, like, cook their own potlucks or whatever. That's great. But some people go all out. They might rent a space to host the party, pay for catering, buy new outfits for every occasion, of course. It's just so expensive. Like, even throwing, like, it's just a chill little party, that can add up when you're inviting a good number of people and you're getting the food and you're getting the entertainment. Again, I'm a minimalist, I guess. I'd just rather say no. Nah, we don't need it. It's fine. So let's get into some of these. Engagement party. Did we have one? No, but we did have some of our friends in New York. Some of them took us out to dinner after, and then a few others, like, the next time they saw us, brought us, like, a little gift, and that was very sweet. But no, we never thought about having a full engagement party. Like, all you have to do is post on Instagram, and then you get all those sweet, sweet comments. Social media validation is so much more valuable than real life celebrations. Am I right? Yeah, but really, that was our way to like announce to everyone. Like in a practical way, you don't need a party to announce things because typically people find out online. And then yeah, otherwise, in my mind, we just don't need to celebrate the engagement other than thank you for the congratulations and stuff. Oh, a bottle of wine? Thank you. But we're having a wedding. So that's when we'll celebrate this whole thing. Those are my thoughts. But here's something, and this is some beef I have with all of these extra parties, is that so many of them involve bringing gifts for the couple or the bride. So some people give gifts at the engagement party. And I'm just confused about these social rules. I don't know what's expected. So I read some articles. These say, engagement gifts are not required, but it is a nice gesture. Nowadays, it's common for guests to bring a gift to an engagement party, but it's usually something small and sentimental. Okay. They recommend take the budget you would spend on bubbly and put it toward a special piece that they'll have forever, such as the examples they show are a personalized ring dish, cutting board with your names on it, Mr. and Mrs. glasses, which funny enough, we do have. One of our friends gave us those. So that's cute. Those have been cute. And I'll be honest, I'm not into like the personalized monogrammed things. That's not my style. I don't need too much of it. I have enjoyed having our Mr. and Mrs. little glasses. But I'm glad that we just have the one set of them. Because if we had like 20 more Mr. and Mrs. items all around the house, I'd be like, that's enough. Thank you, but no, I don't need it. They also say basically you can show up with some champagne. I get that. And of course, I just want to say, like, obviously, if anyone ever gives me a gift, I appreciate it. I am grateful. It's very sweet. It's never expected, you know? So I don't want it to sound like I'm the Grinch who's like, don't you dare give me a gift. But again, I guess I am just trying to be considerate of the guest's perspective, and I wouldn't want anyone to feel obligated to give gifts, like, constantly. I can make a whole video about my relationship to gifts, but I've talked about it a little bit. I'm not a huge gift person. It's definitely not my love language to give gifts, though I know that if it is yours, those people love to give gifts. That's their favorite thing, and I appreciate that. But personally, on the receiving end, I'd be fine if I pretty much got, like, one gift a year. Once in a while, it's nice. I'm a words of affirmation girly. We all knew I love validation. Just tell me nice things. Moving on, you have the bridal/couples shower. Again, you've already had an engagement party, so you've already celebrated you two being engaged, affianced. Now the girlies want to celebrate the bride. Okay, traditionally a shower is a celebration of the bride's upcoming marriage and an opportunity to give gifts for their home. Appliances, china, settings, serving pieces. But the etiquette for showers has changed over time, and today's modern celebrations tend to be more focused on the bride-to-be, celebrating the marriage, showering her with good wishes, and more personal gifts. Okay. So instead of getting her the blender now, save that for the wedding gift. All right. Lean into a more personal gift, like a silk robe embroidered with her name. It's the perfect shower gift. Can you imagine getting like a dozen personalized robes at once? I'm set. I'm really set. I have so many robes. I'm one for every day of the week and more. And they all say my name on it. Mrs. What's her name? Or I guess what's his name? Or anybody. What's their name? I'm Mrs. What's their name? Nobody get me a personalized robe, please. I don't need it. So I get it. Yeah, basically they recommend more monogrammed stuff. Personalized, cute. Like bride-to-be. Maybe some pajamas or lingerie. Cute. Again, if it's your thing, I am not yucking your yum. I'm just saying for me, don't need it. Like literally just do not need it. I will pass. I don't need a bridal shower. Then we have, of course, bachelor and bachelorette parties. Sheridan and I wrote like so many paragraphs about these and like the tropes about bachelor and bachelorette parties. Like for women, it's all like dick stuff, women and hetero marriages. It's dick stuff. It's kinky little gifts. Oh, sex toys, haha. And then for men, it's like the hangover. They go to Vegas with their boys. There are strippers. You know, it's your last chance to get loose before marriage, before you're tied down forever. This narrative that like, okay, first we're celebrating you and uplifting you as a couple. We're so excited for you to get married. And then right before the wedding, it's like, oh fuck, you're about to be tied down forever. Better let it all out now before you're tied down. Why? Why are we setting the tone for the marriage this way? Why are we letting this cultural narrative happen? If you feel like you are about to be tied down, I just think, like, you don't have to get married. Like, if you're sitting there being like, oh my God, I'm about to lose my freedom as a man, maybe marriage isn't for you. Sounds like you kind of are scared of it. Like, you don't want it. I don't know. Again, you don't have to get married. But yeah, it perpetuates the idea that marriage is a trap that you're about to get stuck in. Cheers to that. You're going to lose your freedom, all your fun. You're never going to have fun again. So all that narrative, that sucks. I'm like, I don't get it. It's all presented in a fun, jokey way, but it's like, the underlying message is very dark. Though I will say these days, I think these parties are more about hanging out with your besties, having a good time, like making time for your friends, which I will appreciate because we all know like the idea where it's common when somebody gets in a serious relationship, maybe they start to see their friends less. And maybe those friendships are a little harder to maintain. So it is nice to say, you know what, let's go have a party, let's have a night with all of our close friends, make it about us. You know, I like that. I do. So, am I gonna have a bachelorette party? I guess so. I do want to do something with my girlies, mostly because I just haven't been on a girls' trip, like, ever. Like, not since, like, high school have me and my best girly friends gone and done something like that all together. So, yeah, we gotta plan something. I don't know what I want to do. So, continuing on about these. As I mentioned in the main video, sometimes these are not just a night or a party, sometimes they are destination trips, which again sounds fun in theory, but it is a lot to ask people to do. If everyone's down and everyone has the budget for it, that's cool. If there's a lot of communication about people's financial boundaries, that's cool. I did recently see a TikTok of a woman saying she's going to her friend's bachelorette trip. She's spending a good amount of money on the plane ticket and the Airbnb. It was split between everyone evenly. And then without discussing it, blatantly, the maid of honor Venmo requested everyone and was like, hey, we're all paying for the bride's plane and Airbnb. Like, we don't want the bride to pay for it. And the OP was like, we should have had a conversation about this. Now I just feel pressured to cover it, but we had never, like, agreed to cover it. So she just felt like this was all last minute. And then suddenly your budget is thrown off, and that's a valid thing to be confused or upset about. Now, if everyone had agreed in advance when they're planning this party, hey, do we all agree we should cover the bride's portion? Okay, cool, that's fine. But I think it is a bit rude to assume that everyone's down to do that. Every friend group has different dynamics, especially when it comes to money, but like, on one hand, like me, I would want to pay for my portion. I wouldn't want my friends to have to pay for that because they're already paying for their own shit and we're all going on the trip and having fun. I'll pay for myself. Now, on the trip or in the party, if you want to pay for some of my beverages or some snacks, some appies, then I will not fight you. Thank you very much. You know, I don't know. Again, it's all about discussing this stuff and actually having some communication and not just making the assumption that everyone is okay with certain financial decisions. Continuing on, last thing I want to say about bachelorette parties especially is the waste of the personalized outfits, the sashes, the shirts like so-and-so's bridesmaid, or like, again, I just have beef in general with like personalized, very specific single-use clothing items, especially because it's like, you're never gonna wear Caitlin's bachelorette party t-shirt again. Never. And even the night of, you probably don't even want to wear it that much. You're gonna take your pictures and then you're all wearing personalized t-shirts all night. If that's your thing, that's cool. I'm always in the camp of like, can we make it a sticker? Can we just make it a little sticker where it all says Tiffany's bachelorette, and then we can all wear whatever outfits we want, and the most that we're wasting are a couple stickers. That's my idea. I wouldn't want it either way. I don't want the stickers, but if I had to. Then there's like the personalized pajama sets for everyone. It's just like, it's a lot. You could spend an entire wedding's budget on all these extra things. Like the wedding is one thing, say $30,000 minimum. And then, yeah, all these other parties, all the other food, catering, places, traveling, personalized outfits, that could be another 30 grand, honestly. Then there's an event apparently called a bridesmaids luncheon, which I've never heard of. I don't know how common this is. Basically, it says bridesmaids, flower girls, mothers of the couple come together. It's a way to thank them for assisting during the wedding planning process, and a setting where the bride can present bridesmaid gifts to her crew. So now the tables have turned. The bride is giving gifts to her bridesmaids. Okay, that's nice. But again, is it necessary? I just feel like there's so much gift giving back and forth that at a point you break even. And to me, again, I'm in the mindset of let's just not. We just don't have to. We can both just not have to buy a bunch of gifts back and forth. I'd just say let's hang out with each other and enjoy each other's company. I'm so anti-gift. I need to make a video about this. Now we get into more gifts. Slapped a little too hard there. The registry, the wedding registry. Every wedding has to have a registry. Boop, 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 boop. Back in the day, brides used to go in person. They'd go to the store and scan beep, beep, beep. They would add their registry of all the items that they liked and they wanted that people could buy for them. Now it's online. You can just online shop, and literally this is the embodiment of like you online shopping and filling your cart and being like, man, I'm never going to buy this, X out, except you keep it, you add it to a list, and then you send it to all your loved ones and you say, hey, you're coming to my wedding, P.S., send me a gift. So again, after realizing that many of these pre-wedding parties also sometimes involve a gift, gifting something to the couple, at this point, what more could the couple need? Do we really have to keep giving them more gifts? No, thank you. First of all, historically, here's another article. There's a reason we associate wedding gifts with crockpots, china sets, and other housewares. Wedding registries were a way of ensuring that young couples, or really young women, had everything they needed to make a home. Before registries took off, future brides collected silverware, china, and homemade linens in hope chests, in many cases long before they even knew who they were going to marry. They're just like collecting. They're like, what's it called when a pregnant person is like nesting, I guess. Yeah, you're nesting for your future married life, collecting all your goodies. Much like the hope chests that preceded them, registries were a way of helping women with the transition from daughter to wife. Again, the emphasis on like, the woman better collect the homewares so that she can be the homemaker. It's like, all right, we get it. So yeah, like, okay, in modern day, for example, Nathan and I, we've lived together for years. We've had our own home. We have like all the stuff we need. So why would I need a registry to add like, what, upgraded versions of what we have? I could, but do we need it? No. Are there some home items that I might like? Ooh, an espresso machine? I would love it. Do I need it? No. If I really want it, can we get it like sometime ourselves? Sure. So anyway, like I feel like there's a difference between that old idea of like, okay, the couple is coming together and they're going to go buy their first house, a starter house. It costs $10,000. Cheers to them. And so they're going to need like other appliances. They're going to need a toaster and some plates. I get that back in the day, making your house a home, I guess. But yeah, I feel like it's more common for couples to live together before they get married, or they live separately and they still have a lot of their own stuff, so then they can combine it and have pretty much a lot of what they would need in their household. So again, this to me doesn't make sense. I don't think it's that necessary. But it's funny because registries don't just have home goods now. It's like you could put fucking anything on a registry. I guess you could just be like, I just want like some of this random shit. I just want that for me. Buy it for me. Thank you. Another part about wedding gifts that's like makes me uncomfortable is just the expectation. Like, again, first wedding that Nathan and I ever went to together, I was like, oh God, like what are we supposed to give as a gift? Like what's the socially expected thing? Because you don't want to look cheap. You don't want to seem like a cheap guest. But also it is painful when you realize the average is like $100 a person. So you're like, yeah, I'm happy to go to this person's wedding. I'm really excited, but I have to spend $100 and you're going to spend $100 and we're going to buy them some gift on their registry or give them cash. That's a lot. That adds up. And from what I've heard, some people do have the expectation that essentially they can spend a lot on their wedding because they're going to make a lot of that back via the gifts and the cash that they get from the guests. So I'm like, what? Again, what's the point of all this? Oh. This says most guests spend between $75 and $200 on a wedding gift. General rule of thumb is to avoid giving a check less than $50, and the gift should be the same whether you're giving cash or a physical gift. The fact that there's even an amount that like socially people would be like, oh, you only gave me $50? You're such a cheap guest. Like that grosses me out, personally. Because again, I have no cultural or social or religious expectations for gifts. So like, I wouldn't be in that position. But as a guest, I do feel like, ooh, I'm like, I hate gifts. I am not a gift person. That's the theme of this video, actually. So this is from another article. Some guests may feel like they have to give gifts because it's a tradition. Others may think of wedding gifts as transactional, the concept of paying for your plate, as in giving a gift that costs roughly the same of what the couple spent to have you as their wedding guest. So with that, what are we doing? Wedding registry, smash or pass? Pass, actually. We are passing. We are not having a registry. We have actually requested no gifts, which I feel very good about. Initially, we had no registry, but I was like, okay, maybe we can add like a fund, like a cash fund, if people really insist on giving us money. I'm like, I'll take it, fine. I was imagining like our grandparents are probably like, please let me give you a gift. But then we decided, we're like, no, we don't even need the cash fund. Again, we are very lucky to pretty much have everything we need. Like, of course, free money is always nice. But again, these are our guests at the wedding, and especially for Nathan's side, they're all coming from the UK. They are all taking time off work. They are flying internationally to come to our wedding, and then they're hanging out for like days or even a week. So I would just feel terrible then asking them all to give us a gift on top of that. Average value, $100 per person, thank you. Like, no, we just don't need it, and I feel much happier. Nathan and I together made the decision, and we feel so much better about just no gifts. There was more. There's another like 2 pages on this document, but it's a lot of information. Again, it might come up in part 2 of the main channel video. Who knows? We'll chat about it eventually, right? I'm getting sleepy and tired. I think I've been talking for like 45 minutes, and you guys have heard enough. I hope you enjoyed hearing more of my hot takes, my opinions, my personal perspective on these wedding things. Yeah, a lot of these I was like, these are a little, like, I don't need to share all these in the main channel video because I didn't want to include a disclaimer every time I said something like, okay, it's fine if you do it, but like, it's just not for me. Like, we get it. We know. I'm allowed to have my opinions. Nathan and I are allowed to say yes or no to whatever things that work for us or don't. And you are allowed to do things. If you are a person who literally said yes to every single thing that I said no to, that's cool. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for being a patron. Thank you for supporting me. I could cry. I could. I'm not gonna. But I could. Okay, thanks. Bye.